Morning, this is Mitzi. Happy Tuesday to you. I want to give you a recap of day 5. Getting confused on my days here. This is day 6. This is the last of the week. Anyway, day 5 went really well. It was kind of one of those just going through days. There wasn't really it was no change whatsoever. It was just kind of went, planed on through. No side effects, no hunger. Everything was great all day long. I had energy all day long. And for a Monday, you know how Mondays sometimes are pretty sluggish, which mine are usually not. Mondays are usually a busy day for me with work and everything, a lot going on at night. But it was a quite busy day. But everything was great. The food was great. I'm loving the recipes. I know a lot of these recipes I'm going to continue to incorporate into my meals long after the reset. And they're really good. They're really filling. And that's one thing I've really learned, and one thing I'm glad I'm doing this, is to learn how to pair your foods to make them stick with you, instead of just eating and feeling full at that moment and then an hour later you're starved. And that's a lot. I know it comes from what you're eating and what you're combining at your meals to make it stick with you. And that's really a helpful thing for me, because I've always had a problem with doing that. So I'm really glad for that. I guess everything. Last night's supper, gotta tell you about supper. It was so good, and I was it looked pretty. The picture was really pretty. Roasted root melody, which is sweet potato, carrots, onions, and beets. Now, my mom was a big old beet fan. She loved beets, and I couldn't stand them. It just reminded me of an organ, the red running out of it, like blood running out of meat. That's what it always reminded me of, and I just always couldn't stand it. The only way I liked beets is when she took the juice and made me pickled eggs every year. She always made me pickled eggs around my birthday, which is always around Easter, and that I loved. I love pickled eggs, all pink and pretty and stuff. But she would eat the beets, and it just would gag me to death. But I thought, that's what old people do. Older people like stuff like that. I'll never eat nothing like that, not even. But it was really surprisingly good. You toss it in some olive oil and a little Himalayan salt, and you bake it in the oven. And I was really surprised. It still does, to me, has an earthy, more like a radish does, an earthy taste. But it was really good. And surprisingly, I didn't, it wasn't one of those gag effects, like the seaweed. I always refer back to the seaweed. Ooh, that's the gag effect. But it was really good. And I couldn't believe it. And first time I had toasted millet, which when you think of millet, I always think I have bird seeds outside. I keep filled up with bird seed all the time. And I always think, I'm eating bird food. This is bird food. But it was really good. You toast it a little bit, and then you add some water and you boil it, and it just fluffs up like quinoa, sort of. But it has just a little bit different flavor to it. But it was surprisingly really good. It complemented the vegetables really well. And zucchini and cashew soup. Have you ever heard of such? I would have never thought of eating something like that ever. But I just couldn't believe it. The flavor was just, it's a really indescribable flavor until you make it and try it. Just, grind up zucchini and some cashews and a blender, and you can either have it's good hot or cold, actually. And it was like, it's one of those, you taste it and you're like, And then you taste it some more and you're like, it's so different and it's so good, it's just, you can't put your finger on it. But I really liked it. Even my husband was like, this ain't too bad. And it's really healthy. That's what surprisingly, just zucchini, ground up zucchini. Who'd ever thought to make soup out of zucchini and enjoy it? But that was really good. And the only downfall I've had, which I never really usually have trouble with my sleep. I sleep pretty good. But being a woman, the woman thing. Some of you guys don't understand about that woman thing. Well, I'm going through the later on in life woman thing. And I have night sweats, and that's one thing that keeps me up at night is the night sweats. I wake up soaking wet, my shirt and everything, so I have to get up. That causes me to get up more than I normally should have to get up and change shirts because I'm soaking wet. But that's part of life. That's what women have to go through. That's something you have to endure and do and get over. But that's the only thing that really has affected my sleep the past couple of nights, I guess, is that. Because, you don't like to wake up in a pool of sweat. That's just kind of gross. But anyway, other than that, everything's going great. I weighed this morning. This is the 6th day, the last day of the first week. I've lost 3 pounds. I mean, that's great for me for 3 pounds, because it's really tough with my body. I've always had trouble getting weight off. Even 1 pound, I've had trouble my whole life. So I mean, that's a real big plus for me, and tells me, I've not been hungry. I've had food that's been good. It's been satisfying to me. That's stuck with me, and I'm just totally tickled to death over everything so far. And I can't wait to start week 2 tomorrow. I start detox tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that. So I'll keep you informed, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday. Bye-bye.